Yes, I just want to share this screen to cover this topic, the change of state of matter. Okay. Now you have to be very much careful to listen all these things, and in between I'll be explaining this change of state of matter. Just you will raise your hand to tell whether it is visible and audible to you or not. Okay, you all will raise your hand only. I think yes, it's visible. Now just tell me whether it's audible or not.
Have a look around you.
Just tell me whether it's audible or not. I think audible to everyone. Okay. So now just go through it carefully, all of you.
Rain, etc. are liquid in nature. The ground you are standing on is solid in nature. Try spinning around. What do you feel? There is a mixture of gases present in the surrounding called air. You are surrounded by three physical states of matter. All these states of matter, that are solids, liquids and gases, are interconvertible. But how do these change of states take place? Let us find the answer to the question. After completing this module, we will get to know about factors that affect the change of state of matter, such as temperature and pressure.
Okay. Just now I said that there are two factors. We all know that in our surrounding we have solids also, we have liquids also, we have gases also. And all these three states of matter are interconversible. Means we can convert solid state of matter into its liquid form or liquid into gas, solid to gas, and vice versa, depending upon the properties. Okay, so factors that affect the change of state of matter are two factors, and they are temperature and pressure. Okay, so let us discuss about both of these in details. First you will see the module carefully, and then we will be discussing it through the presentation. Check it once.
Consider the diagram where the universe is represented as system and surrounding.
Now two terms are given over here, system and surrounding. Okay, about whom you are studying. Okay, about whom, that is considered to be the system. Okay, whatever substance is taken into consideration about which we are going to study, they are considered to be the system. And leaving that system, whatever is present around it, that will be considered as surrounding. For example, in this diagram, you may find it that this ice, a piece of ice, a block of ice, this is considered to be a system. And leaving this ice, whatever is present around it will be considered as surrounding. Okay, so whenever the factors like temperature and pressure act, it depends upon the system and the surrounding. Okay, just listen it carefully, all of you.
The system is the specific part of the universe that is of interest to us.
I think you have understood. System is that specific part about which we are interested, or about which we have to study, or about which we have to deal with. That is system. Okay, then surrounding.
In this case, system is the block of ice. The surrounding is everything except the system.
I think you have understood. The system is the block of ice, and surrounding is everything except ice. and the energy change take place between the system and the surrounding. Okay, just see it carefully.
In this animation, both the macroscopic and microscopic view of ice are shown.
See, macroscopic, it means the bigger one, bigger view. What actually the ice, the way we are looking it through our naked eyes, that is the macroscopic view. Okay, the way ice, we take out ice from the freezer and just try to observe it. Okay, the way it looks like, that is macroscopic. And how the molecules are arranged inside this ice, that can be seen only with the help of electron microscope, and that is known as microscopic view. Inside the microscope, the molecules, the movement, the particles, how they are arranged, that is what known as microscopic. Here in this chapter, actually we are dealing with the particles of matter, and particles will come under macroscopic. Matter will come under macro, M-A-C-R-O. Okay, and particles of matter will come under micro, M-I-C-R-O. Okay, so there should not be any confusion regarding all these things. Macro, bigger view. Micro, minute. Small particles when they are seen with the help of microscope. That is what microscopic.
Let us heat the system by supplying heat from the surrounding. At 0 degrees Celsius and the pressure of 1 atmosphere, ice melts into a liquid.
Just see what is being told over here. We have taken out ice from the refrigerator and kept it at normal room temperature and pressure. Normal room temperature means when we are taking it out, obviously it is 0 degrees Celsius. At that time, if it will be touched with the help of thermometer, we will find it 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, and it will remain 0. Kab tak? That's what we have to see over here. And in between, the pressure around it is the normal atmospheric pressure and considered to be 1 atmosphere. So that ice is kept, taken out from the refrigerator, kept over here at normal temperature and pressure, but the temperature shown by the ice will be 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, now what will happen slowly when we are continuously heating it? Just see the microscopic view carefully, all of you. Okay, how the bond breaks, how the molecules become far apart from each other, and from solid they are getting converted into liquid. Okay, this is how it happens, that you will see in this animated diagram. Check it properly, all of you. Then there won't be any doubt regarding this topic.
To melt a solid, attractive forces between the particles of matter must be overcome.
Now just see what is being written over here. When we heat ice, okay, since solids have greater force of attraction, so the temperature that we are providing, the heat that we are providing, okay, that must be greater than the attractive forces of attraction between the particles of matter. Okay, and that heat must overcome that attractive force. Overcome. Zyada hoga, tabhi to molecule will break down. Then only the molecule will become far apart. Now there is a bond between them. You can see over here, these are the bond between the two different molecules. One molecule is here. You can see over here, H2O. 2 molecules, 2 atoms of hydrogen, 1 atom of oxygen. Everywhere there is H2O molecule. Everywhere. Okay, and these H2O molecules are linked together by a force of attraction. There is a force of attraction, and when this force of attraction breaks, after breaking the force of attraction, only this solid will get converted into liquid. And for breaking, we need energy. Okay, just check it carefully, all of you.
On increasing the temperature of solids, the kinetic energy of the particles increases.
I think you might be observing that these molecules have started vibrating. Okay, although the molecules are vibrating. Okay, but due to this, what will happen? Their kinetic energy will go on increasing. The kinetic energy of the molecules will go on increasing, and they will gain enough kinetic energy to overcome this force of attraction and get converted into the liquid form.
Due to the increase in kinetic energy, the particles start to vibrate with greater speed. The energy supplied by heat overcomes the forces of attraction between the particles. The particles leave their fixed position and start moving more freely.
I think you all have seen what happened. Ice. In ice, the interparticle force of attraction was low. Okay, when we heat the particles of ice, when we heat the piece of ice, the block of ice, okay, the particles started gaining the kinetic energy, and they have gained that much of kinetic energy that their interparticle force of attraction got broken down, and they get converted into now which state? Liquid state. You can see over here. Now there is no bond between the molecules. There is a force of attraction in liquid also, but that force of attraction is very less. Okay, so on gaining the energy, the particles of solid get converted into liquid. And the reason behind it, the particles of solid gain enough kinetic energy to overcome the force of attraction of solid state of matter to get converted into liquid state. Okay, just check it once again.
A stage is reached when the solid melts and is converted into liquid. The temperature at which the solid melts into liquid at atmospheric pressure is called the melting point.
I think you all have written the definition earlier only, since we have discussed it. The temperature, the particular temperature at which a solid melts into liquid under normal atmospheric pressure is called its melting point. So what happens? Solid gets completely converted into, at its melting point, any solid gets converted into its liquid form.
The process of melting is also known as fusion.
This also we have discussed it earlier, that melting is also known as fusion. Melting and fusion, they both are the same process, conversion of solid into liquid at its melting point.
During the melting process, the temperature of the system does not change.
Now just see, this is very important part that actually I wanted to discuss. When we start heating a solid, just see the graph, how it is being made. When we start heating a solid, the molecules of solid gain energy. Okay? Just for example, if we'll consider the ice taken out from refrigerator, the temperature shown by the ice will be -10, -15, -3, -4, depending upon the situation, what you have means maintained in the refrigerator, which temperature you have maintained in the refrigerator. But slowly, what happens? They start gaining the energy, and when we are heating it, the melting starts. And melting starts at which temperature? 0 degrees Celsius. Because 0 degrees Celsius is the melting point of ice. So at 0 degrees Celsius, at its melting point, okay, not only ice, at its melting point, any solid will start getting converted into liquid. Any solid. Okay, at its melting point. For example, for ice, the melting point is 0 degrees Celsius. So this temperature is the 0 degrees Celsius. Now, till the time all ice get converted into its liquid form, all the ice get converted into its liquid form, the temperature remains constant. Although we are heating it continuously, You can see in the diagram, heat is being continuously provided, but the temperature of the solid does not increase. It remains constant. See this white patch. The temperature remains constant. What does this mean? That during the change of state, the temperature of a substance remain constant, although it is being heated continuously. Okay, then the question arises, where does the heat go? We are heating it, we are continuously providing the heat. Then where does the heat go? The heat remains with the molecule of the converted state in the form of latent heat. Latent means hidden. Okay, just see what is being told now.
Now the ice has melted. This happens even though we continue to heat the beaker. This heat gets used up in changing the state by overcoming the force of attraction between the particles. In other words, the heat gets skimmed into the contents of the beaker and is known as latent heat.
This is what actually I wanted to tell you. You might have observed in the animation what happened. Solid particles were there. There were force of attraction between them. Clear? And when we are continuously heating them, the force of attraction slowly decreases, and finally what happens? The particles gain enough kinetic energy to overcome the force of attraction of solid to get converted into liquid state. So that heat that we are providing over here is used to overcome the force of attraction of a solid state of matter into its liquid form. Okay, that heat is used to overcome the force of attraction of solid state of matter to get converted into liquid state. And this is a very important question, either in one or the other form. It will be asked in the exam. During the change of state, the temperature remains constant, although the heat is being provided continuously. This question is given in your textbook also. Why temperature of a solid does not increase even though you heat it continuously at its melting point? Anyway, the question will be asked and your answer will remain always the same, because the heat is used to overcome the force of attraction of solid state of matter to get converted into its liquid state, and that heat remains hidden. कहाँ छिपा हुआ है? Converted state में. Solid से liquid में convert किए तो liquid molecule के पास है वो heat, in the form of latent heat of fusion, latent heat of melting. We can use both the word, but generally it is used latent heat of fusion. Okay, now continuing from here.
The amount of heat energy that is required to change 1 kilogram of solid into liquid at atmospheric pressure at its melting point is known as latent heat of fusion.
Okay, in the previous class also we discussed the amount of heat energy that is required to change 1 kilogram of a solid at atmospheric pressure at its melting point. Okay, now 1 kg of solid will get converted into which state? Into its liquid state. Clear? Kab? At its melting point, and that heat is known as latent heat of fusion. Okay.
The particles in water at 0 degrees Celsius have more energy.
अब यही question है, that is what I wanted to discuss over here. Okay, which one gives better cooling effect? Ice at 0 degrees Celsius or water at 0 degrees Celsius? Okay, now you just see the diagram, how beautifully it is being made over here, that in this case, there is a force of attraction here. Okay, the particles have less kinetic energy. Okay, and in this case, what happens in the second case? The water particles have more energy. कहाँ से आया वो energy? By absorbing the latent heat. Okay, so water particles at 0 degrees Celsius have more energy as compared to the ice particles have that at 0 degrees Celsius. Clear? Water particles at 0 degrees Celsius have more energy in comparison to ice at 0 degrees Celsius. And this is what known as what? Latent heat of fusion. Which one is having latent heat of fusion? The water particles have latent heat of fusion. And that is why ice gives better cooling effect. Ice के पास कम energy है, water particles के पास ज़्यादा energy है. Just see the diagram how different they are. Okay, ice have less energy. Ice particles have less energy, whereas water particles have more energy because they have gained the latent heat of fusion. Continue from here.
as compared to the particles in ice at the same temperature. When we further supply heat to this liquid water, the particles
Now just see what will happen if it is heated again. फिर से उसको हम हीट कर रहे हैं. अब क्या होगा देखो ध्यान से. Which one is heated? The liquid particles. Now the water that is being heated over here.
start moving even faster at a certain temperature. That is, the boiling point, the particles have enough energy to break free from the force of attraction of each other to convert into gaseous state. Just like latent heat of fusion, here we have latent heat of vaporization.
Now just see once again. From solid, it started melting at this temperature. During melting, the temperature remains constant. Okay, when we are further heating it, the temperature rises, and at the boiling point of the liquid, again the temperature becomes constant. Okay, and why the temperature remains constant during the conversion of a liquid into gas at its boiling point? Because the heat is absorbed to overcome the force of attraction of liquid particles to get converted into its gaseous form. Okay, and this heat is known as latent heat of vaporization. जैसे वहां हम लोग डिस्कस किए latent heat of fusion. यहाँ क्या होगा in this case? It is latent heat of vaporization. The amount of energy that is required 1 mole of liquid or 1 kilogram of liquid at standard atmospheric pressure at its boiling point is known as latent heat of vaporization. ठीक है, तो latent heat of fusion, latent heat of vaporization.
Also, the particles in the water vapor at 100 degrees Celsius, that is, the boiling point,
Just see the movement of particles.
at the same temperature.
Okay, and that is why a question is asked here again. Which one contains more heat? Which one will give severe burn? Steam at 100 degrees Celsius or boiling water at 100 degrees Celsius? This is the energy of the boiling water particles at 100 degrees Celsius and the energy of steam particles. Since steam contains latent heat of vaporization, steam particles contain latent heat of vaporization. That is why they have more energy and they give severe burn as compared to boiling water. Okay, yes, so most of you are giving me the same answer. Good, very good.
Let us move on to the next factor, that is pressure.
Now the second factor over here is pressure. One we have discussed temperature, the another one we are going to discuss pressure.
We all know that the distance between constituent particles is different in solids, liquids, and gases. We can liquefy gases by applying pressure on the gas and reducing the temperature. By increasing the pressure, the particles of gas come closer to form a liquid state.
See what happened, the gaseous particles were taken Okay, and they are compressed. Compressed means high pressure is applied on them. Then what happens? A gas can get converted into liquid state by increasing the pressure and reducing the temperature. Okay, both the factors are there here. Gas state to liquid state on applying pressure.
Carbon dioxide.
Now, many of you have asked question regarding dry ice. Just see.
That is, the dry ice. It is stored under high pressure.
Okay, how is dry ice formed? When gaseous CO2, okay, is kept under high pressure, it get converted into its liquid form, and on cooling that liquid below minus 57 degrees Celsius, we get solid CO2, snowy white. Just see the color, snowy white solid, and what it is known as dry ice. Okay, it is stored at very high pressure. Now, what will happen if it is kept at normal atmospheric pressure? Check it.
When the pressure is reduced to 1 atmosphere, solid carbon dioxide converts directly into gaseous state without even coming to liquid state.
This is what is the answer. Why it is known as dry ice? It is called dry ice because solid CO2 directly get converted into gaseous state without even coming to liquid state. When we'll put ice over here, ice will first get converted into liquid water and then will evaporate. But here what happens when dry ice is kept at normal atmospheric temperature and pressure? Okay, it directly get converted into the gaseous form. Directly, no conversion into liquid state. That is why it's known as dry ice. Dry, direct conversion to gas state. Ice, because it is formed, look like ice and it is formed just like ice. Cooling of water gives rise to ice. Cooling of liquid CO2 will give rise to dry ice.
Thus, we can say that pressure and temperature determine the state of substance, whether it will be solid, liquid, or gas. Now let us recapitulate what we have discussed in this module.
Yes. So this is what actually is there, what I wanted to share. Okay. Now directly we'll move on to the next one, this change of state. ठीक है एकदम ध्यान से देखो solid particles on heating gets converted into liquid, liquid on heating gets converted into gas. Okay, and this is what happens over here. And during the change of state, what happens? The temperature remains constant. Temperature remains constant during the change of state, and this is what actually is known as, okay, what? Latent heat. During melting, you just see over here, when you will do this experiment, even at our home also, you take ice cubes in beaker and just dip thermometer inside it. Until and unless each and every drop of ice, each and every piece of ice get converted into the liquid form, there will be no increase in the temperature. And since there is no increase in the temperature, then what happens? That heat remains hidden with the water molecules. And that heat is known as latent heat of fusion. Definition already we have discussed. And in the same way, once it gets converted into liquid form, now heat it continuously. Heating it continuously, the temperature will increase till 100 degrees Celsius. At 100 degrees Celsius, boiling starts. Okay, and when boiling starts, what happens? The molecules are getting converted into gaseous state. And again, till each and every drop of water get converted into its gaseous form, temperature shown by that liquid water will be 100 degrees Celsius. Where does the heat go? The heat remains hidden with the steam particle, water vapor particles. Okay, and this heat is known as latent heat of vaporization. The main topic that I wanted to discuss today was this only. What is the concept of this latent heat? Okay, and why temperature remains constant during the conversion of state. Okay, in the next class, we'll discuss more of it. Pravrita, you will share me all the questions